All right, welcome back. This is the next step. Hopefully, you've already seen the how to log in and some of the interface basics. So we're going to talk about scouting and how that works right now. You'll notice all these are little stars on the screen. We're in hyperspace right now. You know that because down here it tells you that you're in a sector. There's 100 sectors starting at the lower left-hand corner with Sector 1 working its way all the way up to the upper right-hand corner with Sector 100. Sectors are mainly just to help you keep track of where things are, and it allows your team to work together and be able to assign. You take sectors 1 through 1 or sectors 1 through 10, and you take 11 through 20, etc. And it allows the team to work together. And we'll talk about some of that, the team and how it comes into play. So what I'm going to do now is there's all these little white stars. These white stars mean that they're not scouted. I don't know anything about these stars. So if I left click on the star, I get a little menu, and I'm going to say send a probe. So you see my little probe take off, and that little probe will enter the system, and it will come back. And in our ship's log area over here, it tells me about the planets. And you'll see one here that's 2 hab and 15 hab and 20 hab and 61 hab. You're looking for habitability of planets. Remember we talked just a moment that habitability is the number of houses per year that each worker makes. And as the game progresses, the higher the hab, the more colonists that you will have. The more colonists you have, the higher your score will be, the more taxes that you will get, and the more that people want to take that planet. So if you want a very casual game without a lot of people, just bothering you or killing you, that kind of thing, I suggest getting something around an 85 to a 90 hab planet, and let people know that you're just learning the game and just exploring, and they'll leave you alone and just let you play the game. Most players are helpful in the game. Most of the game is the interaction with the other players because there are no NPCs. So the other way to go to a planet is I can say navigate, and that actually takes my ship and flies. So while I'm flying to that planet, I'm going to launch a probe to that second planet over there. Now you'll see over here in ships in range, my my probe was available. Now I'm going to drop into that system, and I can look up here, and I can move my mouse over these, or I can look over here. Here's a 66. Here's a 72. We're getting just a little bit better every time. Metal is also very important. There's 3 types of economies. You have a metal producing economy, which is usually about a 70 plus metal. So you can see here a 68. That's close enough. You can almost run that economy on mining operations. The 81, you run it on mining operations. With this 40 down here, you probably want to run that economy on consumer goods. Anything less than about 40, that's probably about the limit, you want to run an agricultural society. And there's some advantages to those. Just ask the other players. They're very helpful in helping with those kinds of things. So I don't see any planets here that are exciting and fun. So I'm going to go ahead and re-enter hyperspace. And my probe went to that other system over there. You'll see right here it says probe has returned. And it gives me the information where that probe went. So that system wasn't very good. And if I hover over these stars, you can see they're red now. And this one is green. That's where the Imperial base is. And these ones are red. Nothing exciting about those. Now, if you like, you can scout manually all night. And you'll be clicking and doing a lot of things like that. Up here on the top, there's an Auto Scout button. So if I click on that, in the lower left, it pops up with Auto Scout. Now I can set the scouting criteria. And I want to say unvisited systems, and I'll click on that, and my ship now will start doing the scouting for me, and I can watch in this corner down here as it scouts systems, and we'll see it come in. Ooh, here's a blue one. There's an 89 right there. 89 hab. That is almost a 90 hab planet. So that one actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to just keep on. We'll let it keep scouting here. We'll see if we can find a green here. No, there's an 8625. That would be an agricultural society. That's what you would want to run on that planet because the metal is so low. So let's just keep watching here for just a minute, and we'll see what we can find. All right, so this one, I didn't even have any blues. 79 is the best hab in that one. And while we're flying, I can click and send a probe to that one. So Auto Scout works along with being able to send probes manually. So it gives you something to do at the same time. Now you have to be very, very careful as you're doing that. Your fuel goes down. So you'll want to stop at a planet. Remember we talked about that just a bit before, that you'll want to stop at a planet and refuel. Auto Scout, if you're on the advanced subscription, woo, there's a 91. There we go. There's a green one. It has an 81 metal. That actually is a pretty good planet starting out with. So I'm going to hit pause. I'm just going to close the Auto Scout, and we're going to go back to warp, and I'm going to click on this planet, and I'm going to say navigate back to that one over there, because let's go see if we can pick up that 91 hab planet. Let's establish that planet, and we'll talk about a little bit about planet management. Your score is based off of the planet management. Now I come up here, there's a 92. That's the planet we're looking for. So if I left click, it says planet doesn't have a base. So I want to right click on that, and it'll navigate to it and put us in orbit of that planet. So we're just going to wait just a second as it comes in. All right, now we're in orbit of that planet. And over on the left hand side over here is dry dock and our buttons. All the way to the right hand side here. Is there an owner on this planet? Nope, there's not. And let's see, establish base. That's the one I was looking for. I didn't go far enough with my mouse. Establish a base. And it sent the request to the Imperial. And now we have that base. So the bases up here are on colony management. So I'll click that button, and it will open it up for us. And we can see that we have 5,000 colonists there. There's 4,000 houses. There's not any troops, and there is no score. If you have a lone, you don't have any score on that planet. So the balance, if there's a balance here, you will have a 0 score. The habitability is 91.55. There's one surface gun. Surface guns are there to help you keep away people from taking the planet from you. And one surface gun won't do a lot of damage, but 12 surface guns will destroy a scout. And we can take a look at how to manage that as we move forward here. Your metal rating is 81. You have 3 hulls at this planet. Taxes, you don't have any taxes so far. And the colony funds, you have basically $10. This is the number of workers. Now we do everything as percentages. We don't have levels. You have workers. So if I hover over this one, I can click on the bar graph here. I have a capacity of 1,300 people here, which is a maximum of 27% of my population. Currently there's 250 workers, which is 5%, and I have 5% assigned. If I don't want anybody working in basic industry, and what does basic industry does? It produces jobs in mining, shipyard services, armaments, and basic industry. This is almost like factory constructors. You know, you want to build a factory. You want guys that are specialized in it. You have people that are specialized in building houses for people. Well, this one is based off of building factories and that kind of thing. And you can say the minimum, the maximum. There's quite a bit of information on the wiki. Feel free to read through that and ask other players, and they'll help you with some of this stuff. Okay. Here we have mining. If I click on this, you'll see that we have capacity for 2,400 workers. We don't have any workers at this time, and our economy is set up here under services, which if I click on, we have 800 workers, which is 16% of our population. These guys are all building the consumer goods, which are for sale. Now, this area right here is your helpful area. It says suggested settings to generate funds. Now, I talked a moment ago about the three different economies. You have a mining economy, a service sector economy, and an agricultural economy. Now, agriculture is food only, and I usually don't want to mess with this value unless you have a lot of troops. If you have a lot of troops, then you're going to want to make sure you have enough food to feed everybody. Because if you don't have enough food, then people start dying off, and people start dying off, they are not happy at that point. You wouldn't be happy either if you didn't have food. Okay, if I want to just change this economy, here again, service sector, you can see here that service sector needs 14% to be optimal, and mining needs 11%. So if you can put more people into mining, less people into mining than you do the service sector, then that allows you to have more people in construction. And that's the key. The most people you have in construction, the more houses you will build. The more houses you build, the more colonists will come. The more colonists that come, that gives you money. And that's what it's all about. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and select mining. So you just a simple click. And you will see here that mining went to 10%, but services it did not change. So I want to click on this, and I'm going to say set it to the minimum, which is 0, and you'll see now that instead of the 60%, I forgot what the value was exactly, that we had in construction, we now have mining set to this value, and we have more people over here in construction, and that is very important. Now you'll notice up here we had 5,000 colonists just a second ago. We've already had some colonists move into our colony, and we've made a couple little payments on our loan. We have some more colony funds, and we have 4 units of metal and taxes already. So hey, we're starting to build up some stuff, and that's what it's about. Okay, so if I want to rename my economy or my colony, I'm going to call it let's call it Super Dave. All right. Migration, usually don't touch that value. Planet distress, this is what the radio channel your colony will scream on if it's being attacked. What is your conscription rate? Usually I set conscription at 100. There's not a reason not to have a value of 100. Ship access, if you have some friends, you can put their ship IDs in this little box, and they can use your services at that base. The number of surface guns that we have, we talked about that a second ago. The number of troops, the number of probes, missiles, and torpedoes. These are your weapon systems. So if you want to build torpedoes on this planet, you'll need to put some workers into armaments. So if I come over to armaments, and let's just don't make a whole lot. Let's just make 1%. So I'm going to hit enter and let those guys start working here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say update the planet, and that was down here in the bottom. You'll see I have 1% of the workers in this. Now, it took those workers out of construction. Now, here again, construction is key. The more people you have in construction, the more houses you build. The more houses you build, the more people that can come to your planet, which make you money, and that's the goal. We've collected six units of metal and taxes, so everything's moving right along. Colony funds, you want to make sure this value does not get to 0, and the other value you want to make sure does not get to 0 is food, which is right here. Okay. Now, it takes a little bit of time to build, so 1% of our workers, it's going to take them a long time to build some probes for us. So I'm going to tell it just to build this, just build this 1 probe, and let's build this 10 missiles, and then we can just build torpedoes until the base is done. So it'll just build to the maximum at this point. Goods, we don't need to change that. And I'm going to do an update because it's flashing. That lets me know that. Or what happens is our miners dig out ore, and I'm going to click on this, ore then gets processed by our capacity of the mining. So remember I clicked on it. Mines ore and then refines for colony funds. Capacity is shown. It's shown as the refining capacity. So this right here. This is the number of refineries that we have, the automated machines that do the work for us. Okay, all right, I think we're good on colony management. You've got the basics here. Here again, the wiki has some information, and talk to your friends. Okay, thank you. I'm going to end this video here, and we will pick up another video.